साद्वैतं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सास्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु भगवते गोपेश गोपीकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा वेलकम बैक Srimad Bhagavatam thematic series books 1 and 2. So we have been discussing on verses 111, 112, 113. Up till now, we have discussed verse 111 of Srila Prabhupada's explanation of this verse. So I'll briefly summarize that. And today we will begin the discussion on Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on this verse. There are 5 different explanations. So today we'll start covering the philosophical part of it. Maybe the whole background today will cover. And then the first explanation is quite exhaustive and quite philosophical. And that will take some time, maybe 2 classes. And then after that, the other explanations, we can quickly finish them because that they are not so exhaustive as the first explanation is. So I'll briefly summarize what we have discussed up till now. We first saw the overview of the Bhagavatam based on the Padma Puran, which compares the Bhagavatam to the body of the Lord, and the 10 subjects of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then we went to Canto 1, Chapter 1, questioned by the sages, and these themes, the first theme and the 6 questions is what we are going to discuss. Of course, we will be covering the verses 4 to 8 also. And then we went to Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is Vyasadeva addressing in the 18 syllable mantra. It is a mantra which is Vyasadev's mantra, and he's addressing the absolute truth. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then we saw this verse and translation by Srila Prabhupada. We went to, and first thing we saw was what is Tata Lakshana and Swarupa, and identified the Swarupa and Tata Lakshana. and went to the Chaitanya Charitamrita to understand Swarupa and Tatastha Lakshana. We saw the definitions of Swarup Lakshana and Tatastha Lakshana from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I hope you will be able to understand the definitions of Lakshana. Akriti Prakriti Swarupa Swarup Lakshana and Karya Dwaran a Tastha Lakshana. This is the definition Mahaprabhu has given. Swarup Lakshana and Tatastha Lakshana. And we will see more of it today also. After discussing Tatastha Lakshana, then complete paragraph by paragraph of Srila Prabhupada. I did this, and then Satyam Param, and then Bhagavatam Dhi. So Rupan Lakshan, Prabhupada speaks about Aditya, he directly and indirectly conscious, and then Tene Brahma, Hridaya, Adi, a big word, and Janmadi further Prabhupada and Surya, and about the authenticity of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and these from the original and the perverted dress in the form of sex word. And paragraph 13 to 14 concludes. So today we will Thakur. Now, Thakur, before commenting on this verse, many of the paragraphs he devotes to Mangalacharan, invoking auspiciousness before composing his commentary. And we will see that. And first of the verses he himself composed is Kripa Sudha Vrishti Subhakti Swarvahini Khilita Jiva Padmi Shri Krishna Gana Savidyut Kauro Mano Venomi Na Chakshastu. The cloud of Sri Chaitanya. Kripa Sudha Vrishti. Sri Chaitanya Ghana Savidyut. Have rained a sweet shower of mercy. Kripa Sudha Vrishti. Producing a river of devotion to himself. Swabhakti. Swarvahini. Swahini, the river. Keta Jiva Padmi. Where the Jiva elephants Ganga, Ganga, cloud, Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Ghana, golden with a flash of lightning, Svidut, illuminate the sky of my mind. Manovyomani Nashchak Sastu was composed by Vishnu Thakur. Beginning commentary or a work when the author, there is what is called a Mangalacharan. And in the Mangalacharan can be several verses or one verse. And in the Mangalacharan, same Mangalacharan, Trida Prakar, Kaviraj Goswami says. The Mangalacharan has three divisions. Vastu Nirdesh, Ashirvad, Namaskar. So, who is the object of worship here? for Vishnu Thakur. And what is Namaskar and what is the benediction he offers? Ashirwad. So, who want to point out from this one and tell us? Let us see. Who will try? What is the Vastu, object of worship for Vishnu Thakur? What is the obeisances he is offering to Namaskar? And what is the benediction, Ashirwad he is giving? So, who will try? Who will try? Who will try? Lakshmi Simhan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, sorry, your signal is so
Yes.
weak actually. The audio is so cut off. Uh,
Oh,
so,
cut,
yeah, it is. The screen sharing is also delayed. Only now we are seeing the Mangalacharan. Yeah, so I think the object of worship is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, that is Vastudesh.
Yeah. Then,
And then,
so what is the second one, Prabhuji, you said?
Namaskar. Namaskar. Nirdesh, Ashirwad, and Namaskar. What is Namaskar?
Sorry, the audio is cutting off, Prabhuji. I couldn't hear.
Oh, Krishna. Actually, I have come to a new place. I don't have two connections, and both are. I'll have to shift to their internet connection, but I don't have a password right now. Here, I'm in Vada actually. Should have taken their. Yeah, let us see. Geo works here well. Yeah, how is it now? Is it clear?
It is better, little better now, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. So, what is the Namaskar and the Ashirwad?
Just a minute, I'm just waiting for the screen to get shared.
Oh, so slow it is.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so the object of worship is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then illuminate the sky of.
Sri Chaitanya Ganasa Vidyut Gaura Mano Venomi Nakshakshostu. May the dark cloud of Lord Sri Chaitanya, may golden with the flash of lightning, illuminate the sky of my mind. That is what he's asking. And then may it shower a sweet shower of mercy, producing a river of devotion to himself, where the jivas play like elephants in the Ganga. Swabhakti Swarvahini Kelita Jiva Padmi. So that is the Ashirwad for all the jivas. And is offering namaskar to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Then further he has composed a few more verses. Let us go through those verses. Nityanandadvaita Chaitanyamevam नित्यलंकृत ब्रह्मसूत्रम नित्यैर्भक्तिर्नित्यया भक्तिदेव्या भातां नित्यं धाम्नि nityo bhajama. I worship bhajama, the one absolute truth, Krishna, who is eternal bliss and supreme consciousness. Nityananda Advaita Chaitanyam. Advaita Chaitanyam, it should be up in here. Advaita Chaitanyam. Personified as eternal Bhagavatam, which is the complete form of Brahma Sutra. Tattvam Nitya Alankrita Brahma Sutram. In its most embellished form, and who resides with eternal bhakti and the eternal devotees in the eternal spiritual world. Nityar bhaktir nityaya bhakti divya. Bhatam nityam dhamni. Nitya bhajamaha. So this is also a very, very beautiful verse. Again, offering his obeisances to the absolute truth. Now, the Vastu Nirdesh is Krishna, who is the absolute truth. And here, in the Mangalacharan verse, there is not much of Ashirvad, but it is directly the Vastu Nirdesh and Namaskar is being offered. Then further, this is paragraph 3. Rupam Sanatanam Guru Kripan Unam Tamasyatan Srimad Bhagavatastaiva Viditan Jushtachirenashayan Društva Vaishnavatoshanyam Kyaya Sandarbhatas Tikam Swamanukampito Sya Vidade Sarata Sandarshinim. I take shelter of the eternal form, name, and qualities of Krishna known from Bhagavatam. Nityan gunam tasya tan Sri Bhagavatas tasya viditan. I studied for a long time by the mercy of Guru. Gurun Kripan Nityan Jushta Achirena Ashrayan. After having studied the Vaishnav Toshani of Sanatan Goswami, Sanatanam Društva Vaishnava Toshanim, and having understood the conclusions of Lord Chaitanya from the Sandarbhas of Jiva, Prabhum Matam Kyaya Sanasta Bhagavatsami Tikam. I produce this commentary to show the essence of Bhagavatam. Manukampito asya vidade saratas darshinim. So you can understand from this particular part of the verse by Vishwanath Chakra Thakur that Vishwanath Chakra Thakur studied, for a long time Bhagavatam, especially of Sridhar Swami. He studied the commentaries of the Bhagavatam by Vaishnava Toshni. Vaishnava Toshni is a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto by Sanatana Goswami. And he studied the Sandarbhas of Srila Jiva Goswami, who was Siddhanta Acharya. And after having studied this, by the mercy, now he is giving the essence of all this in his own commentary, which is composed as Sarartha Darshanim. Okay. Paragraph 4. Now he expresses his unity in this verse. Na kachan me Vaidushya Suma Sumahasasa Iha Swamautyam Va Nirupadi Kripaya Bhagavata Prabhutvam Va Yin Apyutati Yadadhi Satam Dvitye Vanandam Pratpadam Idam Dokshayati Satyam. I am not learned. Na kachin me Vaidusha. Vaidusha means I am not learned. Oh, I am rash in my attempt. The cause being my own foolishness or the causeless of the Lord gives rise to its manifestation even in an unqualified person. If its cause is my foolishness, it will cause mockery, hasya. And if its cause is, and if its cause, if of the Lord, it will produce bliss. Kripava Bhagavata Tva Anandam Nandam. It will produce devotees. Pratipadam idam dokshate satyam. So Vishwanath Thakur is expressing humility and he's saying that I'm not learned, I'm very rash in my attempt, and this is for my foolishness or maybe the mercy of the Lord. If it is because of foolishness, then people will laugh at me. They'll make a mockery out of me. But if it is the mercy of the Lord, it will produce blessed devotees by reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. And yes, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is very rash in his attempt because he's inspired by prema in his heart. And the stimulus is prema, and it is causing madness for him to compose this Bhagavatam. And definitely it is the mercy of the Lord. And we see that by studying Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary, we experience so much nectar. In fact, it is only Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur which brings a clear understanding of the whole flow of the Bhagavatam. He has covered essence in the form of Sri explanation, Jiva Sandarbha's explanation, and Sanat Goswami's explanation. Oparama jana prayasi ati abhushte tadiya priya dasyasya anmadiya maham dade. I offer myself, maham dade, and everything to the absolute truth. Mam madi yaha. Mama means I offer and everything. Who is dearer to life to all the cowherd men and women. Gopa Ramanujana Prana. And to the service of his Priya or his dear devotees. Prayasi Ati Prabhushnave. They are very, very dear to him. Tadiya Priya Dasase. Tadiya means now there is dear devotees. Who are the devotees? So this is how he offers his prayer in paragraph 4. Sorry, paragraph 5. Paragraph 6. Surataru Deepankara Brahmadharmam Yadi Dama Tati Shastram Naiti Chitram Tadetat Haricharita Sudanam Payanaya Prapede Sadasi Sada Sadasi Sada Satam Yanmohini Tvam Stumastad. It is not surprising that this popularly read scripture has qualities of the absolute entity Brahman, Brahma Dharmam, comparable to the fruit of a desire a lamp and a sun, Deepankara. I praise this work which assumes the form of Mohini in the assembly of devas and demons, giving the sweet topics of the Lord to the devotees. Hari Charita Sudhanam Payanaya Prapade, and denying them to the demons. Sadasi Satam Yan Mohini Tvam Stumastat. This we will come to more in detail. Now, in this, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur, he's comparing the absolute entity, the Parabrahma, to a desire tree, fruit of a desire tree, a lamp, a sun, and is commenting to Mohini Avatar. So we'll come to that more in detail now. Okay. Now, what is the Bhagavatam? These are verses again composed by Vishwanath Chakra Thakur. And of course, Jiva Goswami in his Sandarbhas also, while establishing how the highest Praman is Shabda Praman, that is the Vedas, and within the Shabda, the Shrutis, but now, Shrutis are no more available. Then the Smritis, the Puranas, are also part of the Shruti. In fact, they are called as the fifth Purana, Panchama Veda. And among the Puranas, he establishes the super excellence of Srimad Bhagavatam there. And there also, to prove the super excellence of the Srimad Bhagavatam, how even other Puranas glorify Srimad Bhagavatam and establishes Srimad Bhagavatam as the Chakravarti Samrat. So many verses Jiva Goswami in his Tattva Sandarbha quotes there. And here also, it is Vishwanath Chakra Thakur quoting these verses. Yatratikritya gayatrim varnayate dharma vistaraha vristrasura vadopetat tad bhagavatam ishyate. So what is this Bhagavatam? He spoke the Bhagavatam where the killing of Vritrasura is described. Vritrasura vadopetat. And where after starting with Gayatri, Yatra Adhikritya Gayatrim Varnate, Dharma is elaborately described. Dharma Vistaraha. And in another Puran, this is I think in the Matsya Puran, Granto Ashtadasha Sahasro Dvajash Khanda Samvitaha Travadata Gatrya Cha Marambastad Bhagavatam Vidu. The Bhagavatam is understood, Bhagavatam Vidu, to be that work starting from Gayatri Mantra, Gayatri Cha Samarambas, in which there are 18,000 verses. Granto Ashtadasha Sahastro Dwadasha Skanda Samandita, in which spiritual knowledge is spoken by Hayagriv Brahma Vidya, Yatra, and the killing of Vrita are described. Vrita Vadas Tatha. So now my question to devotees is, both these verses glorifying Bhagavatam, we saw that Bhagavatam is that scripture where there is the killing of Vritrasura explained or described. Here there are two references. There is a killing of the Vritrasura and there is Hayagriv Brahma Vidya. So my question is, what is this Hayagriv Brahma Vidya? And second question is, why is so specifically, that Bhagavatam where the killing of Vritrasura is described, why is it so specifically mentioned about the killing of Vritrasura? What is the speciality? Why is it so important that killing of Vritrasura is identified as that scripture? Oh, that is that Bhagavatam. Anyone knows, can raise your hands. Anyone has some idea about it? Why is Bhagavatam so much identified with the killing of Vritrasura? What is the reason? And what is this Hayagriv Brahma Vidya? Nobody knows. Okay, there is Anil Prabhuji, I think. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Uh, little I would say for glory, because Vritrasura death is glorified in Bhagavatam because he was in the body of demon and he was doing all his karmas. At the same time he was giving means he was supporting Indra to kill him because he was waiting to get
No, see, the killing of Vritrasura is described in all other Puranas also.
Mhm.
So what's so special about in the Bhagavatam, killing of Vritrasura by Indra? Why it is so specifically mentioned? Oh, that Bhagavatam where the killing of Vritrasura is there. It's also described. This whole pastimes are described even in the other Puranas. Then what is so special? Why is Bhagavatam so much identified with killing of Vritrasura?
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Okay, what is this Hayagriv Brahma Vidya then? Anyone else? What is the Hayagriv Brahma Vidya? The first thing is all other Puranas describe the killing of Vritrasura. But there, in those Puranas, when you read this pastime of the killing of Vritrasura, there the hero is Indra and the villain is Vritrasura. But only in the Bhagavatam, the actual glory of Vritrasura is brought forth. The heart of Vritrasura, his prayers, especially those 4 verses, are called as the essence of the Bhagavatam, where he offers his prayers and expresses his love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those 4 prayers are there in the Bhagavatam, which come, Vritrasura's prayers. So Vritrasura's heart is actually revealed in the Bhagavatam, that Vritrasura is actually a pure devotee. And the real hero is Vritrasura, and the villain is actually Indra. This is brought forth only in the Bhagavatam. Just like if you read the Mahabharata, it seems like, oh, Bhishma sided the Kauravas because he had financial, support. He was dependent on the Kauravas. That is the reason Bhishma took the side of the Kauravas. That is the understanding you'll come to. But only in the Srimad Bhagavatam is the glory of Bhishma brought forth when Bhishma offers his prayers before leaving this world. That Bhishma fought on the side of the Kauravas because he wanted to take, he wanted to relish the Veera Rasa with Krishna, because that is the rasa he is situated in, and his object of worship is Parsarthi in the spiritual world. So this actual glory of Bhishma is again brought out in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The glory of Vritrasura is brought out in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the first thing about Vritrasura. Secondly, this Hayagriv Brahma Vidya is actually the Narayan Kavach mantra, which will come up in the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the Hayagriv Brahma Vidya. Now, another question is, this Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, it has 18,000 verses. Granto Ashtadasha Sahastro. Ashtadasha is 18. Sahasram is 1000. Dwadasha Skanda Samanvita, 12 cantos. Now, if you actually count the verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam, canto after canto, canto after canto, you will come to the calculation of something around 14,900 and odd verses. That is the number of verses which the Bhagavatam has. But this verse, I think this verse is from the Matsya Puran, as far as I remember, says that it has 18,000 verses. There was one Sanskrit conference which was happening, and a scholar was speaking there. Oh, the Bhagavatam, what we have is not the full version of the Bhagavatam, because it is mentioned in the Matsya Puran that Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses, whereas the Bhagavatam which is available to us, even the Gita Press edition Bhagavatam also, if you see, it has only 14,900 and odd verses. So this is not the real Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam is 18,000 verses. So that was his explanation. And one of the ISKCON devotees was attending that conference, and he gave an explanation. And this explanation is very important for us to understand. Actually, one of the great scholars and commentators on the Bhagavatam, he did a research. Actually, the Bhagavatam is 18,000 verses when you count in Anushtuba meter. Each line has, 8 syllables, aksharas. 8 into 4, 32 aksharas. So 32 aksharas will constitute one shloka, one verse. So like that, if you count from the beginning of Bhagavatam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadeva, end. And in fact, you have to also count the aksharas Nadavacha, Vacha, Sugadevacha, Parikshitvacha, because even those are and at the end of each of the chapters is there that thus ends Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter. So like that, all the verses, if you count them in Anushtup meter, then the number of verses count will come to 18,000. It will come to 18,000. So this is very important, because even now if you count in the Srila Prabhupada's edition of Srimad Bhagavatam, each of the cantos, if you go and count, it will come to 14,000 and not, and it will not come to 18,000. But this 18,000 count is according to Anushtup meter. I hope this is clear. So up till now, any questions, any clarifications? Okay. Now, yeah, have to little exchange this. Yeah. Now, in any scripture, there are these 4 things called as Anubandha Chatushtaya. That is, there are 4 things which have to be listed in a work. It is called as scripture quadruple in English, and in Sanskrit is Anubandha Chatushtaya. Any traditional work has items at the beginning, the adhikari, who is qualified person to study the text. You need adhikar for everything. Vishaya, what is the subject of the text? Prayojan, the goal of knowledge. And Sambandha, the text should relate to the subject. So this Anubandha Chatushtaya is always, at the beginning of any work, it is narrated. So these 4 things, Adhikar, Vishaya, Prayojan, and Sambandha. Sambandha actually is, quite technical and philosophical, but just to summarize, there is the Vacha and Vachaka. Vachaka is the speaker, and Vacha the words which are spoken. So, if the Vishaya or the subject of the book is Krishna, so the words which are spoken also should be about Krishna. Like in the Gita, Krishna is the speaker of the Gita, and Krishna is speaking about himself. He's Sri Bhagavan, and Sri Bhagavan is explaining the glories of Bhagavan, Krishna, how Krishna is the absolute truth. Matta paratara nanyat kinchi kinti jasti dhananjaya. So that is sambandha. The text should relate to the subject. Bhagavad Gita. It is the song of God. So if it is a song of God, then the text should not be a song of some other subject. So similarly, this sambandha refers to that the text should relate to the subject. And this sambandha is also related to all these other three, the Vishaya, Prayojan, and the Adhikar. So these are the four things. And right in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam 111 to 113, all these three or all these four are clearly enumerated. The Adhikar is the devotees. The Vishaya, Vedam Vastavam Vastu Attra Shivadam Tapatraya Moolanam. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 112, it will come this. Dharma Projita Kaitavo Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedam Vastavam Atra Vishaya Vastu Shivadam Tapatraya Moolanam. So that is the Vishaya, the absolute reality, the absolute truth is the Vishaya. That is Sri Krishna. What is the Prayojan? The Prayojan is, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhur Rasika Bhu Bhavaka. That you should drink this nectar, relish the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the sambandha. The sambandha is that one has to establish the sambandha with the absolute truth. The absolute truth is Krishna. So by Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, so this Anubandha Chatushtaya is a very important concept, and all these four have to be clearly delineated in the text before any scripture is spoken. Now, right in Vishwanath Chakra Thakur's commentary, in the beginning of his, I'll take the question, just I'll finish this. He gives a quotation from the Srimad Bhagavatam to explain how these Anubandha Chatushtaya are there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the verse. Adi Madhyavasaneshu Vairaghyan Samyutam Hari Leela Katavarta Vritananda Satsuram Sarvavidaram Yad Brahmatmaekatva Vastu Advatitam Nishtam Kaivaleka Prayojanam. From beginning to the end, Adi Vidya Vasaneshu. The Srimad Bhagavatam is full of Lord's pastimes, Hari Lila Katavarta, which gives bliss to devotees endowed with a sense of renunciation. Mritananda Satsuram Vairagakya Samyutam. This Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedanta philosophy, Sarva Vedanta Saram Yad, because its subject matter is one Brahman. Brahma Atma Ekatva Lakshana, a substance with no duality. The main goal of the work is merging in bliss. Vastu Advitimatam Nishtam Kaivalya Eka Prayojanam. This Kaivalya here, please remember, Kaivalya is not merging into the impersonal Brahman. Kaivalya is merging in bliss. Just merging in bliss of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Kaivalya, no, what is it? Keval Ananda Kanda. like that. So now from this verse, devotees, my question is, where is Adhikar, Vishaya, Prayojan and Sambandha? Where are these four, uh, four items listed here? I have given some hint, quite a lot of hint in the verse, but I would like to know from the devotees, where is it is mentioned? Where is Adhikar, Vishaya, Prayojan and Sambandha mentioned in this verse? Who will answer this? I know it is a little difficult for those who are from this Anubandha Chatushtaya. How many of you are first time hearing this Anubandha Chatushtaya? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3. Now many have raised 4. Oh, it's a very important concept, and devotees, when they start studying scripture, they should know this concept. And right in our introduction to Bhagavad Gita series, we have discussed all these philosophical concepts. So we have to know these concepts, otherwise sometimes we get lost. So anyone would like to try to answer? You can lower your hands. To answer this 4, where are these 4 in this verse? Adhikar, Vishaya, Prayojan and Sambandha. It's very clear in the verse. Anyone would like to try? Where is the Vishaya? Where is the Sambandha? Where is the Adhikar? And where is the Prayojan mentioned in this verse? Janardhan Kabra Prabhuji. Jagdishwar Prabhuji. Yes.
Where, what is that? Again, you repeat 4 point.
Adhikar.
Adhikar.
Who has Adhikar to study Srimad Bhagavatam? So where is that in here in this verse?
Who is having the Vairagya Vidya? This is something, Adhikar. Vairagya.
Oh no. Yes, Anil Prabhuji. Okay, Geeta Mataji. Yes, I have unmuted you.
Devotees endowed with a sense of renunciation.
Devotees endowed with a sense of renunciation. Excellent. Satsuram Vairagakya Samitam. It is the devotees. And even if they are not endowed with renunciation, by studying Srimad Bhagavatam, renunciation will come. Okay. So that is the Adhikar. Okay, you can unmute yourself. Then
Vishaya,
Mhm.
in this verse,
Vedam Vastu, Vedam Vastavam, so where it is mentioned here?
I remember you mentioned absolute reality, Sri Krishna.
Yes, but where is it here in this verse?
Harilila Kathavrita. Harilila Kathavrita.
No, Harilila Katavarta is not.
Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam is this.
Yeah, its subject matter is one Brahman. Subject matter is Vishaya, is one Brahman, a substance with no duality. Brahmatma Ekatva Lakshanam Vastu. Vastu is Vishaya, Vishaya Vastu. Adviti Yatam Nishtam. So this is the Vishaya Vastu. And then Prayojan, what is the goal?
Relishing Bhagavatam.
Where is it mentioned relishing Bhagavatam? What is the goal here? It's very clear in the verse.
Um,
The verse is itself saying prayojanam. What is the prayojanam?
Kaivalya prayojanam.
Kaivalya prayojanam means what?
Prayojan.
Yeah, but what is Kaivalya meaning? Kaivalya
Merging
meaning?
in the bliss.
Merging in bliss. So the goal is to merge in bliss. So the goal is not to go back to the spiritual world, but if you are merged in rasa, then you're actually in the spiritual world. So there's no question of going back to Godhead. It's, merging in bliss. Sambandha. Sambandha now. Let us see. Where is Sambandha discussed here? Where is Sambandha discussed? Sambandha mentioned that the book should describe
Sri Krishna.
the Vishaya. The Vishaya is Krishna. So the book should have then description of Krishna. So where is it mentioned here in the verse?
Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic philosophy, subject matter.
No. Sarva Vedanta Saram Yad. No, that's not the answer. Yes, Anil Prabhuji. Where is the Sambandha here?
Full of the Lord's pastime.
What did you say?
Prabhuji, Srimad Bhagavatam is full of Lord's pastime.
Yes, Hari Lila Katha Varta. Full of pastimes which give bliss to the day, full of pastimes. So the Vishaya is that absolute truth, Brahman. And in the Bhagavad, the Brahman's pastimes are there. So that is Sambandha. That is Sambandha. So I hope these four Adhikari, Vishaya, Prayojan, and Sambandh is, and we have to understand very clearly, because now when we study the 5 different explanations of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, these will come up. Adhikari, Vishaya, Prayojan will come up. So you'll have to become thorough with it. Okay, now the last part of the purport, paragraph 7, the glories of Bhagavatam. It is not surprising that this popularly read scripture has qualities of the absolute entity Brahman, comparable to the fruit of a desire tree, a lamb, and the sun. I praise this work which assumes the form of Mohini in the assembly of devas and demons, giving the sweet topics of the Lord to the devotees and denying them to the demons. So this is what Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes. So the Bhagavatam is compared to what? Compared to a transcendental torchlight. It is compared to the splendid sun. It is compared to the matured fruit of the Vedic tree. And the Bhagavatam is like the Mohini avatar, and the Bhagavatam is full of a lamb, the sun, and Mohini avatar, and it gives rasa to the devotees, and it denies rasa, just like the Amrit has nectar, there is rasa in it. So like that. So Bhagavatam is compared to these 5 things. So let us go into this, each of this. Where all in the Bhagavatam is called as the torchlight, the sun, the matured fruit, and the Mohini avatar. And one knows which verse in Bhagavatam compares Bhagavatam to a transcendental torchlight. Anyone knows can raise hands. Which verse in the Bhagavatam compares the Bhagavatam to a transcendental torchlight? Okay. Yasvanubhavam akilsarameham adhyatmadipam atitishikam tamondham samsarinam karunaya purana guhyam tam vyasunomupayami guru munina. This is what Deepam. So Bhagavatam is compared to the light. The Bhagavatam is compared to the sun. which verse? The Bhagavatam, where the Bhagavatam is compared to the sun. Anyone knows? It's a very famous verse. Krishne swadham upagate dharma jnana adibisah kalo nashtadrishamesha puranarkadnodita. So Arka refers to the sun. Then it is the matured tree of the Vedic fruit. Nigamakalpataror dhalitam phalam shukamukadamrtadravya samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhavukah. Nigamakalpataror dhalitam phalam. It is the matured fruit of the Vedic tree. And then Bhagavatam is full of rasa. This 10th canto, when Krishna enters the arena of Kamsa, Mallanam Ashrinam Naravar Strinam Smaro Murtiman Upanam Swajano Satam Shitibujam Shashta Swapitro Shishu Rityur Bhojapate Virada Vidusham Tatvam Param Yoginam Vrishninam Padeve Vidito Rangam Gata Sagraja. The various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it with his elder brother. Gata Sagraja. The wrestlers saw Krishna as lightning bold. Mallanam Ashnir. The men of Mathura as the best of the males. Ranam Naravara. The women as Cupid in person. Strinam Smaro Murtiman. The cowherd men as their relative. Gopanam Swajano. The impious rulers as the chastiser. Satam, Shiti Bujam Shashta. His parents as their child. Swapitro Shishu. The king of the Bhojas as death. Mrityu Bhojapater. The unintelligence as a material form. Virada Vidusham Tatvam. The yogis as the absolute truth. Param Yoginam. And the Vrishnis as their supreme worshipable deity. Vrishninam Para Devata Iti. Now these are the different rasas. Mallanam Ashnir as thunderbolt is Viriras. And the men of Mathura as the best of the males is Vismayaras. The women as Cupid is Madhuryaras. And the cowherd boys as the relative is Sakya and Hasiras. Because the boys were laughing. Because they knew that Krishna had been killing so many demons. What are these, And the impious rulers as a chastiser, Raudras. His parents as a child, our children were so small and these wrestlers are so hefty, So there was Karunaras also there. Death for Kamsa is Bhayanakras. Unintelligent as Virat Rupa is Bhipatsiras. Yogis as absolute truth is Shantras. And the Vrishni as supreme ability is Dasiras. So you can see Krishna is Akhila Rasamrit Murti and all the primary rasas, Dasya, Shanta, Vatsalya, Madhurya and Sakyaras, and the secondary rasas, the Gaun rasas, which are 7 in number, all these rasas were experienced by the people sitting in that arena of Kamsa. So Bhagavatam is full of rasa. Okay. Now this is the last paragraph which we are going to discuss today. Now here, a very interesting explanation Vishwanath Chakra Thakur gives. I'll just complete this. Swayam Bhagavan, the sweet ocean of all auspicious qualities, the king holding the greatest power, the most splendid sun, shone and then disappeared at scheduled times over the earth. So Krishna, when he comes on this earth as an incarnation, it's like the sun which is out. The meanings of the various scriptures, Puranas and Itihasas placed in three groups, just as men are classified into three groups, are like night watchmen guarding the treasure of satisfaction of the heart. But through time, destiny, the appearance of irregularity, and even laziness, some of the meanings have fallen into deep sleep. So when Krishna appears, it's like the sun. Even when Vyasadeva gives Srimad Bhagavatam and all the Puranas, it is also like the sun, because Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to the sun. And these are like what? Night watchmen. Just like the watchman guards the wealth treasure, similarly, they guard the treasure, that is the satisfaction of the heart. But what happens? Time, destiny, and appearance of irregularity and laziness. These original meanings of the scriptures, by interpreting the scriptures, what happens? It's like that guard going to sleep. When the guard goes to the sleep, the thieves will plunder the wealth. So similarly, with this all interpretations, what happens? Treasure, that is the satisfaction of the heart, is lost. Consequently, the great treasure, satisfaction of the heart of all people and the authors of the works, has been stolen by those who have appeared like thieves and given wrong misinterpretations of those scriptures. This is understood from the following. A few verses he gives as praman. Jugitsipitam dharma krite anushashita swabhava raktasya maha vatikrama. This is Narad chastising Vyasadeva. The people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy swabhava raktasya, and you encourage them in that way in the name of religion. Dharma krita anushashita. This is verily condemned, jugitsipitam, and it is quite unreasonable. Maha vatikrama. And we see, because so much of karma kanda Vyas had spoken, and it was misused, and ultimately a lot of animal slaughter was happening, and ultimately Buddha had to incarnate. However, under these conditions, the Lord makes his appearance. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. As well, according to the Gita, the Lord comes to save the devotees and destroy the demons. Paritrana sadhunam vinashaya cha vishvatam. Just as he appears for these purposes as Matsya among fish, as Vara among animals, as Hamsa among birds, as Swayam Bhagwan Krishna among humans, and as Upendra among Devatas, so the Lord has now appeared as the crown jewel of scriptures, Chakravarti Samrat, Srimad Bhagavatam among the Vedas, for restoring dharma and delivering the devotees. Krishne Swadhama Swadham Upagate Dharma Jnanadivi Saha Kalo Nashta Drisham Esha Purana Arko Dunita. This indicates that Bhagavatam is another form of Krishna, similar to the oneness of I and my, Krishna, and the book about Krishna. Grantha Bhagavat, Vyakti Bhagavat. So that is our abhidheya, what we should do. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. We should serve the devotee Bhagavat and serve the Granth Bhagavat. Thus, it bears no comparison with other works. Krishna has appeared as Bhagavatam to Shukdev and Parikshit, and like the sun among planets, among Puranas. 12 forms, just as the sun has 12 forms for each of the months of the year. There are 12 zodiacs which the sun goes through. So similarly, it has 12. With 18,000 verses like its leaves, it has appeared like a desire tree to fulfill the goal of great devotees, that is satisfaction of the heart. Now here, everything is summarized. Just like when Krishna incarnates, it's like the sun, and the earth is illuminated. At scheduled times, Krishna comes. But when Krishna leaves, there is darkness. Or when Vyasadeva gives the scripture, it is like illumination. But when there are misinterpretation of the scriptures, These are like the thieves. And the itihasas and the Puranas are like the wealth. And the real wealth is the satisfaction of the heart. Just like itihasas and Puranas guard this wealth, satisfaction of the heart, the night watchman guards the wealth. But when he goes to sleep, the thieves come and rob the wealth. So this misinterpretations, when there are misinterpretation of the scriptures, then it's like, these are gone to sleep. And what has happened? There is a dissatisfaction of the heart. Adharma prevails. And when adharma prevails, Krishna appears. And Krishna appeared in the form of another son, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so that is part of still the invocation of Vishwanath Thakur. So in the next class, we will begin the first explanation of the words Janmadesyata by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So any questions, any clarifications anyone has? Okay, Tukaram Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I
Yes.
lost that explaining while explaining Hayagriva Stotram.
Hayagriva Brahma Vidya. Hayagriva Brahma Vidya means Hayagriva is the horse. In the form of a horse, Brahma Vidya was given. The Narayan Kavacha mantra, which comes in the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that is called as the Hayagriva Brahma Vidya. I hope it is clear now.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Any other questions or clarifications? Tomorrow we will begin the first verse explanation of Vishwanath Thakur. Okay, so we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Vishwanath Thakur ki jai. Oh, you have a question, Anil Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, actually not a question, because there was a lot of disturbance of voice today. So it's possible for you, because you are in Vada, please share this PPT and tomorrow try to have the better internet.
Yeah, I will switch on to their Wi-Fi. I will do that.
Yeah. On the PPT you can share to the extent what we have covered today, that will help us with the.
Yes, we will do that. Okay.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.